What is up, Schwingers? Welcome back. Sorry I missed last week. It was crazy. Obviously, it was Thanksgiving. So headed out Thursday morning to meet Adam and the family out at a place down here in Southern Oregon, out near Jacksonville, a little town of Roosh. And we had a rental house there, so was gone early Thursday morning. Wednesday, I thought I'd be able to get a video done, but it was... had my windows replaced, a bunch of windows replaced in our house, and we had to move everything out. We had to, kind of be there with the guys, making sure they were getting it all done, and then put everything back together. It didn't take long to get the windows replaced, but putting the house back together took a day. It took a day. So, that's why I didn't end up doing that last week. I really wanted to do the Thanksgiving dishes, but we're not. We're moving on from Thanksgiving. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas to you guys. If you celebrate. Pretty sure most of us do, if not all. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you guys, and let's recap Week 13 before we jump into this week and my Santa present to you. What's Santa leaving under the Christmas tree for you, or maybe what are you asking Santa for? What's your team asking Santa for? Maybe your team's not smart enough to ask for what it needs. I think that's part of the issue with some of you guys. So I might be asking for it for you, okay? But first we'll recap Week 13. It's amazing that we're to Week 14 now, the last week of the season, last regular week, or week of the regular season. It's wild. We're here, though. It's December, okay? Let's jump into Week 13, though. Bert handed me my second loss of the season, 207 to 188, on the back of a Christian McCaffrey injury that kind of limited me. But I don't think, even with McCaffrey, he still got 10 points. So it's unlikely that I would have caught Bert with that, even if he had played the whole game. The win pushes Bert up to number 4, while I remain the number 1 seed. That's locked in now. It can't be changed after the week before. Bert got a big boost, as usual, from Josh Allen and the snow against my Niners with 33 points. That's his MVP. My dumb sit was sitting Jameis Winston, who had 44 points. For Justin Herbert, who only got 9, that 35-point difference would have made the difference. I would have gotten the win. I have a very real question moving forward about starting Jameis versus Herbert. And I'm glad that I have another week this week that doesn't really matter, that I can observe. And then I have a bye, so I can see how those guys are playing over the next couple weeks. But he's my dumb sit. Would have won if I'd played famous Jameis. Phil took down JD 190 to 170 in a closer than expected matchup, which JD's been producing a lot of recently. Phil got the win thanks to 24 points from Sam Darnold, continuing to roll, while JD got had sat 23 points from Adam Thielen in favor of 6 points from Demario Douglas. The resulting 17 points wouldn't have gotten the win, but man, would have been close. And then there could have been some other moves that maybe got him the win. Steve launched himself back into the playoffs with a 201-185 win over Lucas. As I said in the chat a couple days ago, this moved Steve to within 0.08 points of Lucas in the final standing, or in the standings right now. That's on the whole year. They're within 0.08 points. That's the difference in playoff seedings since they have the same record too. Steve got a massive 40 points to achieve the victory on Monday Night Football from Jerry Jeudy, his MVP of the week, while Lucas sat 21 points from Nick Westbrook-Akine in favor of 4.7 points from Cooper Kupp. Raheem Mostert is questionable. Who cares? So the 16-point difference would have made Lucas the winner in this matchup. Mark beat... This says Lucas, but it's Daryl. Mark beat Daryl 174 to 166 to basically ensure that neither one of them can make the playoffs. Mark got the win on the back of a 24-point Keenan Allen performance, his best of the season, while Daryl sat 17 points for the Steelers in favor of 7 for the Chiefs, a move that cost him the game. Lots of closer matchups this week. Sean beat Adam in a not close matchup, nearly doubled his score, 240 to 127, thanks to 28 points from Najee Harris, who has barely eclipsed 20 points more than a couple times this season. So I think it was 2 or 3 times that he's gone over 20 points. Maybe it's 3 or 4 with this one, 2 or 3 before this. Meanwhile, Adam, well, who cares? He lost by 113 points. There's not much room for a dumb sit there. All right. Overall MVP of the week goes to Jerry Jeudy, who went off against who went off against Steve's Broncos. So Steve played him against his own Broncos, and he got 40 points. But Steve got the win, and his Broncos still won, survived that performance. So it's a win-win for Steve on that one. Meanwhile, the dumb shit this comes from the same game where I sat Jameis Winston and his 44 points. It would have gotten me the win against Burt. Now on to this week's games and the present Santa is putting under the tree for your team, whether you asked for it or not. Okay, first one we're going with is Burt versus Adam. Mingo Ate My Baby versus Bed Bath & Beyond. The current projections 172 to 157 favoring Burt. Adam needs this win. They keep any playoff hope alive. He needs this win. He has to get past Steve or Lucas. They both have somewhat tough matchups. Can be tough matchups. Lucas in particular has a tough matchup. Adam needs is a loss by one of them and a win by him, and he will make the playoffs over them. There's almost no chance that if they win and he wins that he could catch them, because he'd have to outscore one of them by over 100 points. So he really needs this win, and he needs one of them to lose. Unfortunate because I don't think Adam's going to win this one. Okay, I don't think he's going to be able to get past Burt here, and I do think there's a good chance that Phil beats Lucas, so he could have a playoff spot in front of him. Burt's just about full strength here, other than Nico Collins, and he should be able to coast to this win. The Santa presents Burt. Santa's given you a two-way, double-sided connection between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison. Some sort of double-sided connection device. The hopes were high this year. That was the number one pick in our draft. And so far, it just has been all right at times. So Santa's strapping a little double-sided mind meld onto these two and letting you ride them both to victory. That's what you're getting from Santa. A little double-sided action there. A little double-sided device there. For Deontay Johnson's been suspended. Lots of news coming in right now. Adam, Santa's giving you a win here, okay? That's what he's giving you. That's it. One win. A chance to make the playoffs. Maybe you don't even want it. Maybe you'd prefer to get a higher draft pick, but Santa is giving you a win because Lucas has a tough match against Phil, and he thinks that you deserve it, maybe, possibly. Trevor Lawrence on IR. Lots of news rolling in here. Okay, Purdy Balls versus D's Nuts. The current projections 195 to 88. That's me against JD. JD has a lot of players on bye, but none bigger than Lamar Jackson. He has a few spots to fill, but without Lamar, I don't think there's a big chance he's going to overcome me in this matchup, essentially. Even if I lose the number one, the spot is secured. So it's not a big deal for me, but I still feel good about it. But I have to pick JD, okay? So expect Aaron Rodgers to score 70 points. The Santa presence, to me, Santa's given my team some health. He's given us an ER doctor. I've lost CMC and Jordan Mason in one fell swoop. Chris Godwin and Dak Prescott. So clear starters for my team that are gone. They're gone for the rest of the year. What could have been. The health of my players is my biggest question mark moving forward, and that's all I need from Santa to have a shot at winning this whole thing. I just need just some health for the rest of the guys. Let's just keep that going. JD, Santa's giving you balls, okay? He's bringing you balls, ping pong balls to be exact, okay? You need more weapons, and he's counting on the odds to be in your favor with this overall pick. So he's giving you the ping pong balls that you need to get that number one draft pick. Maybe trade it even, who knows? But some way to acquire more assets, because you need some assets. So he's giving you balls and assets. Okay, Meat Packers. The Meat Packers versus the Paler Broncos. Projections 142 to 108 favoring Steve here. Okay, Daryl has a couple open slots on his roster, but none of them are bigger than his loss of Jaden Daniels to a bye. This is a very timely thing for Steve, who needs a win to completely hold off Adam and get his playoff spot. If he wins, he's in, okay? He's down Derrick Henry. He's down Bo Nix. He's down C.J. Stroud. He's down Brian Robinson. He's down Cortland Sutton. And he's down the Ravens and the Patriots defense. This is not the week for Steve to be down all those players. So he needs that boost from Daryl losing Daniels. Because of the loss of Daniels, I think Steve will manage to win and hold that spot. But, man, this is a tough week to be down all those players. Santa's presence, Daryl. Santa needs to deliver some pass catchers to Daryl. He needs some guys with some hands. So he's giving you handsy boys. That's what you're getting, Daryl. This is a team that's so weak at the receiver position. He's hoping Rome Odunze develops, but he's not looked good. And other than that, it's Josh Downs, pretty much at this point. Let's not forget Daryl passed on Brian Thomas and Ladd McConkey to take J.J. McCarthy in the first round this year. Nothing like a super flex league to make us overvalue QB, okay? Steve needs a fountain of youth, okay? And it's being brought to you, Steve, in the form of steroids. Santa's bringing you steroids. He needs steroids to keep Derrick Henry and Travis Kelce performing because his old man strength squad is doing work and it's fun to watch. Okay, so steroids, that's what Santa's bringing you. The cream, the clear, all of it, that's what you're getting, Steve-O. All right, next up, Oregon Beer Force versus the Portland Ducks. The current projection is 170 to 124, favoring Sean. Mark has a couple spots to fill in his lineup, while Sean is down several of his stars in this week. The Seahawks are playing Arizona, so I was a little surprised to see Mark's squad score quite so low, even with his open spot. Even with 5 or 6 starters out, though, Sean should continue his scoring ways and win here. But I think Sean, so I think Sean will get the win. And even if he doesn't, his bye is secured. He's already won his division. Santa presents. Mark, you're getting a Seahawks hoodie. Santa just knows you. Nothing else matters. Congrats, you're getting a Seahawks hoodie. That's all he's bringing to you. Sean, you're getting a new QB coach, okay? It's heading to your house, buddy. Santa's going to stuff a QB coach in your stocking. It's amazing that your best QB was picked up in the last week of the season 2 years ago. Last week of the regular fantasy season 2 years ago, since Jordan Love was just sitting there on waivers. But without him, it would be so much worse, so much scarier. Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, all big-time potential, all super inconsistent. Maybe Bryce Young is finally starting to look a little better. Thank God, too, or this team would be unstoppable. So Sean is getting a QB coach in his stocking. All right, game of the week time. I'm here for the trophy versus ETN Everything Hurts. The current projection, 183.07 to 182.19. When I bring in the decimals to the current projections, you know it's close. Phil is favored by less than a point. It will go up. I think there's Bucky Irvin sitting on his bench. I think that's going to be a trade he makes out, a swap he makes. How could this not be the game of the week, though? Less than a full point with full lineups currently. Lucas needs a win to guarantee his place in the playoffs with Adam on his heels. And even with an Adam loss, he probably wants to keep that 5 spot instead of slipping to the 6 spot, which would happen if he lost and Steve-O won. So Phil can't really slip below number 3. So for him, this is somewhat of a moot point of a game. But you always want to end with a win heading into the playoffs. Get your players' head right. They know that you lost. I do feel like this is projection is going to shift, like I said, because Phil will probably elect to start Bucky Irving over Tyron Tracy or something like that. And that's really interesting because Lucas is starting Rachaad White. And since they are backfield mates or, they're the 1-2 on that team, Juwan Johnson is questionable. It's Wednesday, so don't even worry about those. That matchup of Bucky versus Rachaad White, I think at this point heavily favors Phil based on our most recent data. And Phil's going to get this win, putting Lucas at risk of slipping to 6 or even falling out of the playoffs with an unexpected Adam win. Okay, what's Santa delivering to you guys? Phil, defense. Santa's bringing you some defense, dude. No one's had more points scored on them this year than Phil. You are the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? You have great point output for yourself, but your defense has given up more points than anyone else. Oh, wow. What just happened? I just teleported to my house. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, that was weird. Got interrupted. Had to kind of switch off the video real quick, but I'm back to finish this, baby. Phil's the Cincinnati Bengals. I think I was somewhere around there. He's gotten a lot of great point output this year. I think still with the second most points in the league. But his defense has given up more points than anyone else. Okay, we are all just dunking on him, scoring on him all season long. So Santa's bringing Phil a defense. The amount of points he's given up, the amount of points people have scored on him, basically cost him any shot at our division. He's still got something like 200 points less than me, but even if that was closer, his defense has just made it very hard for him to compete. His defense really took him out of the running. So Santa's sending you a defense, Phil. Congrats. Lucas, Santa is bringing you missing the playoffs. That's what he's bringing you. Again, you didn't ask for it. I know this seems like a bad present, but Lucas's team is really is a good QB away. from being back to competing. I know he might make the playoffs here due to some parity and the fact that we're a 10-team league with 6 people in the playoffs, okay? That doesn't mean all 6 are truly competing for the championship. I question his ability to win it all. Yes, it could happen. He's had some explosion weeks, but will he be able to put them together with Will Levis as his second QB? Okay. Once you get in the playoffs, you're facing a bunch of teams with that are pretty stacked, and so yeah, I think it really might be better for him to miss the playoffs, get into that bottom 4, easily win in the toilet bowl, be done, and have a chance, a much higher chance to secure that number 1 pick. I guess this could be the same present for Adam, but I really do think Lucas is one piece away from truly competing again, and that particularly a QB. Okay, so that's what you're getting. Santa's bringing you a missed playoff spot. All right, that's it. Hey guys, that's all. Just this one little quick bit of an add-on to what I was saying earlier. Yeah, last week of the regular season, another regular season down. We what is this, number 5? Number 5 in the Schwing? No, number 6. This is season 6 in the Schwing Dynasty because I won, then Steve, then Sean, then me, then Lucas. So that's it. 6. Season 6, regular season coming to an end. Some of you guys headed to the toilet bowl. All right. Peace out, brothers. Love y'all. Happy holidays. Bye-bye. Oh, here's my Christmas explosion in my house here. Okay, a little messy, but, whatever. All right. Bye.